And welcome, sports fans, to today's Roundtable. Glad you joined us as we are entering into the final stages of the football season for the state of Missouri and also for Arkansas. We're entering to state tournament play going forward, and only just a few teams remain in the mix here from our area. And some are advancing, but some, unfortunately, their seasons are coming to an end. We're going to give you an update on all the state tournament play in Missouri and Arkansas for our local teams from Friday night. Also, we got some teams in action for Saturday afternoon coming up later. So some games still to be determined this weekend, but we did have some action Friday night, including the broadcast that we brought to you live here on YHC Friday night, and that was Harmony Grove and Piggott live from Piggott Friday night that we brought live to you. We're going to show you some highlights of that here momentarily. Also, we'll give you an update on the Jackson Chaminade game that took place up around St. Louis Friday night as well, and give you a little preview to the games taking place today, and notably the Kennett game up in St. Louis taking on Cardinal Ritter in that Class 3 quarterfinal. We'll give you a preview of that. Also give you an update on the soccer state championships that are taking place Friday. That one took place Friday, and then also one taking place later on here on Saturday as well. And a little basketball. We had some basketball updates for you, or one update last week. Got one for you this week as well. Pretty big news for the upcoming basketball season as well. So a little bit to get to today. Let's go ahead and get into the games that were in the mix last night in high school football, and the game that we brought live to you from Piggott, Harmony Grove and Piggott in that Class 3A first round, and it's the first home playoff game the Piggott Mohawks have had in 20 years. So a big game for the Mohawks in Piggott as they hosted Harmony Grove Hornets at Parker Field. And taking a look at some of those highlights from Friday night. Let's take a look at that as Piggott took the loss in stunning fashion, really, in the second half, and it was 28-24 Harmony Grove over Piggott to secure that first round playoff victory for the Harmony Grove Hornets. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from that from Friday night. Let's go ahead and take a look.
It's strung out well. Brandon cuts back.
And we see here on the first drive for the Mohawks, getting a little nice touchdown pass here, completed to the actual quarterback, Tanner Dixon, on the reception. But now he's going to dial it up and go down the right sideline to Ralph, getting a nice reception on the right side. We see here, I believe this was Michael Parker with a nice carry, and Ralph with another reception on the right side, right at the goal line. Didn't quite get it in, but on the next possession, it's going to sneak it in for the touchdown, and the Mohawks are up 12-0 at this point. And a nice throw down the field, Dixon to Brandon Seal with a great reception along the sideline. And here we see a nice carry by Parker, getting it inside the 20-yard line. And we see here moments later a nice run in for the touchdown from Trent Stevens. And a nice lead here for the Mohawks, 18-0 as we enter into the second quarter here. And we're seeing a touchdown reception by Andrew Taylor. He's going to take it and go all the way in for the first score for the Hornets. And at this point, we're 18-6. And here on the next Piggott drive, nice pass down the seam, getting inside the 10-yard line. And here we see Tanner Dixon seeing the opening, going for the pylon. Looked like he had it, but they called him short. But Tanner Dixon sneaks it in on the next play and pushes the lead up to 24-6. And this is where Piggott's really in control. Now into the second half, we see quarterback Caleb Johnson, a freshman, really stepping up here, and a nice throw down the field to Jeremy Edwards for the touchdown to cut the Piggott lead to 24-14. And we see here a nice fourth down run here picked up by the Mohawks, extending their drive. But moments later, punting over to the Hornets, and we see here a nice run into Piggott territory, going to almost go in for the score, but gets pushed out inside the 5. And here we see here moments later, Jeremy Edwards taking the snap, takes it in for the touchdown. making it 24-20. So the Hornets are getting back into this game, and Michael Parker having a tough carry there, fumbles it over to the Hornets, but Piggott really stepping up here. Nice sack there. I think that was Will Vansel on that sack. But here we see Trent Stevens trying to get that first down on a fourth and 2, come up just a bit short. Now the game in the Hornets' hands, a chance to take the lead late in the fourth quarter. And we see here Caleb Johnson getting the first down on a tough run there. And here's a big penalty by the secondary of the Mohawks, targeting 15-yard penalty. And the Mohawks almost having an interception that would have sealed the game, but it falls into the Hornets receiver. Moments later, a run in for the score by Caleb Johnson. And here a little pooch kick with the Hornets up 2, and the Hornets recover. And basically this handoff here and the first down will seal it for the Hornets. Harmony Grove with that victory over the Piggott Mohawks in that Class 3 first round game. And there the last moments were just unbelievable. That interception that was almost was for the Mohawks fell into the hands of the receiver there. They got inside the 5 and scored there. 2-point conversion added on to that to make it a 4-point lead. And Piggott just come up short, and they just could not recover that little pooch kick. Harmony Grove been doing that all night, going one side to the other with those pooch kicks, unable to come up with that. Harmony Grove recovers that, then a first down a little later, sealed that victory. So tough loss for Piggott. They got out to a great start, 24-6, and fell in the second half, got shut out. We'll talk more about it in a moment, but tough loss for the Mohawks, ending their season on that note and the way that second half went. But fine season for Piggott Mohawks. They finished second in their conference in the 3A3, first home playoff game in 20 years. And Sean Parker and Dan Moore did a great job, as they have all year long. It's always good to have them along, bringing the games, as they do a great job, and make it entertaining for all of us watching at home as well. So we'll talk more about that contest in a moment, but Piggott does fall in that first round, 28-24. Now the Jackson Indians in their Class 5 quarterfinal matchup, no problem once again. 63-22, the final score in that one, and they were up 56-0 at half, so they could have easily put up 100 points. Went the century mark on Chaminade Friday night, but called off the Dogs in that second half. But still a decisive victory for the Jackson Indians as they move on to the state semifinals. Just one more win away from getting back to that state championship game they fell in last year. Looking awful strong. Haven't been tested yet all this year. They might get a better test in the next round. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Jackson looked really good in that quarterfinal victory. And let's touch on, talking about the replay of that. Hold on here. And talking about the replay, that Harmony Grove and Piggott game, you can watch that replay here Saturday at 12 noon. And also, we'll probably have that on again. Yes, we'll play that again at probably 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock Saturday at noon, Saturday at 6, and then Sunday at 4. You can watch that replay here on YHCTV Channel 21. You can watch it anytime. Go to our website at YHCTV.com. Or go to our Facebook and YouTube pages. You can watch the game on demand there on our online platforms. But watch it here on Channel 21 Saturday at 12 noon, 6 p.m., and then Sunday at 4 right here on Channel 21. And let's talk about more about those games last night. Friday night, Piggott falling in that playoff game. That second half really hurt the Mohawks. After a great first half, 24 first half points, really moving the ball well, finishing off some drives and only giving up one touchdown, which was one of those quick passes out to the outside, a missed tackle, and then on for the touchdown. Other than that, what was interesting about that game, Piggott's defense was great in the first half, and Harmony Grove's offense just couldn't really get going. They actually didn't have one snap. Harmony Grove didn't have one snap in Piggott territory. They did have the long scoring play, but that was at about the 48-yard line of their own 48-yard line right there at midfield, but did not snap the ball one time in Piggott's territory in the first half. But the second half, that script was flipped. They really did a good job making the adjustment at halftime. Harmony Grove, this Caleb Johnson, the quarterback, him and Jeremy Edwards kind of switched it up at quarterback, but Jeremy Edwards had some really nice. Jeremy Edwards had some really nice receptions in that game at wide receiver, but he did step in at quarterback some and did some on the ground and with some rushes that really challenged that Piggott defense. But this Caleb Johnson kid had a really nice touchdown pass to Edwards on that second touchdown in the second half, and they really turned it up. Piggott just couldn't get going offensively. It was kind of the script was flipped. Harmony Grove struggling in the first half on offense. Piggott then struggled in the second half, and Piggott some fumbles. They had 2 fumbles that were turned over in that second half. Also, that fourth down run, they just didn't quite pick up. It was a 4th and 2. It looked like Stevens was going to pick up that first down, but bounced it to the outside and was tackled short. So 3 turnovers there, 1 on downs, but 2 on fumbles. And then you add in that late, the last chance that Piggott had to win the game. It was under 2 minutes, about a minute and a half. That little pooch kick that Piggott just couldn't secure, that Harmony Grove jumped on and pretty much put the game away at that point. Just some missed opportunities. Piggott just unable to close in on last night and just opened the door for Harmony Grove to take it, and that's what they did. And Harmony Grove had a great second half effort. Their defense really stiffened up. They were really attacking the ball. If you could tell during the game on their tackles, they were attacking the ball, trying to force those turnovers, which they did. And their efforts really paid off, and they cashed them in for touchdowns once they got those opportunities. So a great game that came down to the end. The competitiveness on both sides, the first half and second half. It was a great game to watch, certainly if you're a fan of high school football. And that's what we got Friday night between Harmony Grove and Piggott. Harmony Grove will advance on. I think they will take on Horizon in that second round. But Piggott's season comes to an end. Unfortunately, a great season. We've carried all their home games all this year, and a great effort by Coach Simmons and his staff. And, of course, we appreciate Sean Parker and Dan Moore bringing the games to you here on YHC all year. A great year to cover the Mohawks. It's been fun. Just coming up a bit short of that playoff game, but glad we're able to bring it out to the people. We had a lot of fun, a lot of Twitter mentions the other night. We put them on the air. Hopefully everyone had fun with that. Just had a fun experience watching the game. It was a great game. Just unfortunately, the Piggott Mohawks on the losing side of that playoff game. And talking about that Jackson win, they roll over Chaminade into the semifinal round. They will take on Fort Zumwalt North, and it'll be on the road, I believe, once again. They'll take on Fort Zumwalt North on the road up around St. Louis. So it'll be a tough matchup for the Jackson Indians in the next round. We'll see if they're challenged by Fort Zumwalt North. They haven't been challenged all year, even through the quarterfinal round. But these Jackson Indians are determined. Fell in that Class 5 championship game last year to Carthage, which Carthage is out of the mix now, apparently. So we'll have a new state champion this year, and Jackson's certainly going to be fighting to be the team that does it in a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. But Cale Welker, another great game. 5 scores, 3 touchdown passes, 2 rushing, and he extends his great campaign. And that goes for all of the Jackson Indians this year. They've had a great season and really, picking up where they left off last year and even more dominant than they were last year. So see if they can continue that into next week against Fort Zumwalt North. And take a look at some other high school football. The Kennett Indians in the Class 3 quarterfinals this afternoon here on Saturday at 1 o'clock up at Cardinal Ritter High School in St. Louis. They are on the road taking on Cardinal Ritter. They faced Cardinal Ritter a couple of years ago up in St. Louis as well. and took a loss a couple years ago, but looking to advance today as they take on the Lions once again. And we'll see what happens up there as Kennett will take on Cardinal Ritter, and a lot of speed on the field for the Ritter Lions. They were expecting that last week against St. Mary's. St. Mary's having to forfeit, and now Kennett advances on with another district championship into the quarterfinal round to take on Cardinal Ritter. It'll be a tough out. Certainly a lot of speed for the Cardinal Ritter Lions, as they got some of the best wide receivers in the state there at Cardinal Ritter, and we'll see what happens. But it'll be a tough test for Kennett. But anytime you got Jordan Jarrett back there in the backfield, being able to make those big plays as he's made all year, they're going to be in the mix. If they can get him going, if they can sustain drives, that's going to be one thing important for Kennett, is to sustain the drives, pick up the first downs, keep the ball moving, and you got to cash in touchdowns against this Cardinal Ritter team. We saw that a couple years ago with the speed that they've got on the outside, which they've got once again this year. It's going to be awful tough to win those shootouts, but if you can keep it a lower scoring game, ball possession, keep the chains moving, and score touchdowns, get deep into that Cardinal Ritter territory, and actually finish off those drives for touchdowns, Kennett will certainly have a good shot to come away with a victory. But if you get down, the offense just isn't moving, and you allow that Cardinal Ritter defense to get up early, it's going to be awful hard to get back in the game, because Kennett, certainly their strength is the running game. They need to keep the running game in the picture. That's certainly with Jordan Jarrett with the big plays and scoring those touchdowns, but also Bodie Ellis, making him effective on those fake handoffs and those keepers that he's done so well over the last few years, keeping him in the mix and threatening as well from the backfield. That one, if the Kennett Indians have to go to the pass after being down, that's where it gets really you can really telegraph what you're doing. If you're down early, you get down, you have to go to the pass, trying to make some big chunk plays. That's where you can, it's kind of obvious. You get in third and long situations, you're down a couple scores, and then the pass rushers can just tee off, knowing they don't have to worry about the run, and the D-backs can, kind of sit back in a zone, look at the quarterback, and really feast on the quarterback's eyes and make plays on the ball where you can be susceptible to some turnovers. So really important for Kennett. Stay in it right there, so they keep the running game in the mix, keeps Jordan Jarrett, a threat as he always is, but certainly in a close game, that running game can play to the Kennett Indians' advantage. So we'll see what Coach Joel White and his staff, what game plan they bring to the table, but certainly going to be vital for the Indians to if not get out to an early lead, keep it competitive early. So all aspects of the game is playing to the Kennett Indians' favor. So we'll see what happens. Should be a great contest. We're not going to be making the trip up. Cardinal Ritter is it's a good drive. We had this game Friday night, having to turn right around early in the morning to head up there for a 1 o'clock start. So we won't be on hand for that, unfortunately. We're a little short on help today. Also, the press box there at Cardinal Ritter, really tight space, and Tommy Jacobs being a cancer survivor, he had a bout with cancer over a year ago. It's just best to be on the safe side and kind of avoid those tight spaces in a press box, that sort of thing. So we just want to kind of be on the side of caution with Tommy and not really put him in a place to be in that situation to put him at risk. So that's one thing we want to do for him, but also we're a little short on the help, so it'd be just basically me. I need a little bit of help, certainly going all the way up to St. Louis. So just going to make those decisions to stay home for today, but certainly cheering on the Kennett Indians from here in the Boot Hills. So making the trip up, be safe, and hopefully the Kennett Indians can pull out that victory for this weekend. So good luck to the Indians. And another news, let's talk about some soccer. Class 3 state championship, Notre Dame taking on Fort Zumwalt South took a loss in that state championship game yesterday on Friday and lost that game 3-0. So Notre Dame season comes to an end with that loss, but certainly a great season by the Notre Dame boys soccer team, coming in second place in Class 3. Congratulations, but just come up a bit short, but no shame in that. Made a great run this year at Notre Dame. Now, the Class 4 state championship game to be played today, later on today, Saturday at 6 p.m. I think that's over in Springfield, and that'll be Jackson versus St. Dominic. You can watch that online. Go to themission.tv. Just search up Jackson's school page there down the way on mission.tv, and it's on a pay-per-view basis. Just like the football games, you watch that Saturday at 6 p.m. here, Saturday at 6 p.m. on MSHSAA.TV. So Jackson with a chance to not only make a run in football, but the soccer team, boys soccer team, going to try to come away with a state championship as well. It would be something if they could win both soccer and football, and we'll see what happens. But Jackson with another great soccer season, chance at a state title here on Saturday. And we've got some other news to break to you that was released yesterday. The annual Poplar Bluff Showdown, the basketball showdown in Poplar Bluff, canceled this year. School releasing that yesterday on Friday due to 5 of the teams scheduled for that 8-team tournament have pulled out of that tournament. Some of these teams are from out of state, so a lot of restrictions on schools and even states having on events, and certainly when you cross state lines, that's really kind of the dicey territory there with school districts not wanting to travel far for games, and certainly crossing state lines is one of those aspects of trying to maintain, a protocol, safety protocols with COVID-19. So Poplar Bluff has canceled its showdown. I don't think it's ever been canceled before. I think this is the first time it's ever been canceled. Certainly an unprecedented year. Yields unprecedented cancellations. So this year's Poplar Bluff Showdown, the 8-team tournament at Poplar Bluff, is canceled. Poplar Bluff is actually going to participate in the Rolla Christmas tournament. So they're still going to be in action. The Poplar Bluff Mules just will not host their own Poplar Bluff Showdown this year, unfortunately. But that's just the case. You bring in a lot of teams from out of state. That's prone to happen, certainly if they're going to be traveling long distance, and certainly wanted to maintain the safety for the student athletes involved. And this year's Poplar Bluff Showdown is canceled. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with those state championship or state tournament brackets. Give you an update on those and the previews ahead in those brackets. Also give you a little update on our programming at YHC TV. So we'll come back with that coming up.
State Farm agents get it. This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Dexter, talk to State Farm agent Chris Brannon today.
Coming soon, the Harry Blackwell family of dealers will launch the future of automotive buying in Southeast Missouri.
If you or your loved one has disabilities that cause you to need a little help, Boot Hill Area Independent Living Services can provide the assistance you need. At Bales, we want you to have control of your life and assist you in thriving in an independent lifestyle. The Consumer-Directed Services Program allows you, the consumer, to choose who assists you in conducting your daily activities. Bales serves Stoddard, Dunklin, New Madrid, and Pemiscot counties. Call or visit our office in Kennett to see how we can help you maintain your independence.
A few days ago, we had a customer come by the Kennett dealership looking for a new truck. I had a really good visit with Phil and our salesman. Phil had his Army t-shirt and Army cap on, retired military. We're so proud of our troops, our active and veterans like Phil. Phil left in his new truck. We all enjoyed the visit. Best price, best service. Glenn saying, God bless our troops.
And welcome back, and take a look at those updated playoff brackets. We didn't talk about Class 1. Those games have yet to be played. They'll be played here on Saturday. Thayer still in the mix in the quarterfinal round as they take on South Callaway. And the other matchups there in the quarterfinals, Windsor and Marionville, Adrian and Marceline, Penny and Mid-Buchanan. But we'll see what the Thayer Bobcats can do with South Callaway this afternoon in the quarterfinal round. And also in Class 3, as you see there, Kennett taking on Cardinal Ritter. All the other matchups, Luther North versus Blair Oaks, Buffalo versus Cassville, and Summit Christian versus Maryville. And take a look at Class 5. All those quarterfinal matchups took place Friday night. And then we've got Jackson versus Fort Zumwalt North, and Webb City versus Platte County. Webb City and Platte County. The other semifinal matchup, so Jackson one win away from getting back into that state championship game, but they want to avenge from last year, losing in overtime of that Class 5 state title game last year. Got a great opportunity to secure that state championship this year, the first in school's history, and we'll see what happens. But Jackson dominant so far this year. And well, good luck to the Indians next week against Fort Zumwalt North. And that's pretty much all to bring to you from this week. Very exciting week coming to an end now, and we're starting to make that transition to high school basketball, which will be on hand to bring to you quite a bit of once again this year. We'll be getting started with our schedule. We got our schedule published. We need to get that on the website this weekend. Sorry we didn't get that to you today, but we have got it ready. We just need to get it up on the website and get it to you here on YHC. But the first game we're going to be in action, I believe, is on December 1st, Tuesday, December 1st. I think we'll have Donovan at Malden, so that's the first matchup to look forward to there on December 1st. Then December 3rd, we'll have the Campbell Invitational Tournament, which actually the Campbell Camels, the number one seed in that tournament. We'll bring you that final live from Campbell that Thursday, December 3rd. And then December 4th, we've got, I believe it's Malden at Dexter on December 4th on Friday night. So those are our first three matchups to look forward to as we make the full transition now. We're done with high school football here on YHC. Unless Kennett would to advance to the next round. But at this point, we are finished with our football season and looking forward to high school basketball. So hopefully you'll join us once again. We've got kind of our mainstay tournaments. We got the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament, Boot Hill Conference Championship Night, also the Stoddard County Conference Championship Night, and going to be exciting once again this year, and hopefully you'll be along there with us here on YHC. And that's going to do it for us today. We appreciate you for tuning in as always. And until next time, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have yourself a great week. And Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving coming up this Thursday. Be safe in all your travels, certainly with family gatherings. A lot different this year. Do what you can to stay safe with all of your gatherings. And this will be certainly one for the books. So enjoy it. And certainly be safe out there. And have a great week, everyone. Take care.